the seed guy was really worried about the beans, and rightly so. He asked if we had any seed beans. We didn't then.
Morning is May 7th, 2026. I'll bring the DeKalb County Drainage Board meeting to order. First order of business is to approve the April 16th, 2026 meeting minutes.
So move to approve as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the April 16th, 2026 minutes. Is there any further discussion? There no further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed no.
Abstain.
Motion carries. Next we have attorney fees for May of $1,295.00. Make a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the attorney fees for May of $1,295.00. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed no. Motion carries. Next we have a minor subdivision at Pterodactyl Acres out on County Road 45 and State Road 8 in Auburn, Indiana. Like it involves about 3 of our regulated drains. Anybody here on their behalf? Right. If you want to step to the podium, say your name, address, and who you're with.
My name is Kurt Cooper. Address is 1533 Vanderbilt Drive in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I'm a homeowner. My wife and I purchased the property through a Schrader auction.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are we looking to do out there?
And so I do have some site plans. If I can throw those around, it might be easy to try this a little bit easier. You guys have a site. So all you folks. But basically, we're looking to, requested the minor subdivision for result of the parcels that were split up during the Schrader auction, okay, just to fulfill that. But then also, we are looking to develop the property into a residential site, just a single home residential site with a building. And so if you look at the site plan, you can see where the home and the building would be located, have the setbacks located on there. Obviously, recognizing the drain tile, the Thomas George drain and easements and so forth there, so staying off that ways. And then also the septic designer was out, and if you see the septic absorption field located there, I think the health department's requesting a tile to drain that as well. So I think he's looking at, there's quite an elevation drop to the east of that absorption field. So that's what he's looking at doing, but he's still in the design process. But we do recognize the need to stay off the easements and so forth. So that's not a problem. I don't know if anyone has any questions regarding the design, the layout of the drive and so forth, but the drive access actually got pushed a little further to the north from the highway department needing some 500 foot of view up the hill that resides south of our property. So if there's any questions regarding that or any comments?
Surveyor?
Good on our end, they got all the easements. Road swap.
Yep. They do have large plats if anybody needs them. I don't know if anybody needs that from.
Good.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minor subdivision for Pterodactyl Acres out on County Road 45 and State Road 8, involving 3 of the county regulated drains. The surveyor favorable recommendation. So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the minor subdivision as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have a plat at Fieldstone, secondary plat, County Road 36A, west of Indiana Avenue, Auburn, Indiana. Anybody here on their behalf? Good morning. State your name, address, and who you're with.
Good morning. My name is Bob Gaffer. I'm with MLS Engineering. I'm the engineer of record on this project for us. Address is 10060 Bent Creek Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46825, sorry. This is a 31 lot subdivision. I think it's trial number 2 on the layout, 2 or 3 actually. They've moved it around. These are multifamily homes, duplexes. We've been submitted to engineering and planning departments and addressing their comments, as well as the Soil and Water Conservation District and addressing their comments. The big thing on this is about 130 acres of off-site drainage from the north that drains to us. Currently, it runs right down, you can see the swale right down the middle of the property to the north. There's also a few tiles that come along that north property line. We're working with the engineering department to properly make sure that any tiles that are intercepted are either routed through the property or through the pond, most likely. The pond is a bit oversized only because we need the dirt to raise the site as much as we do to get drainage. An outlet weir on the south side of the pond will take that there. We're working with the engineering department and Planning Department with the YMCA for the easements, because we're connecting storm and sanitary and water right there just south of the cursor on that, right at the swale that goes through the YMCA property to the east. We did, contractors were out there digging this week and found one tile northwest along with the culvert crossing and a tile that's already kind of been spotted with a vertical blowout. But we found one more along the property line, and our intent is to route any tiles from the north, that property that drains onto us through our pond and bypass it through that large weir. Because 130 acres versus our 8 or 10 feet the size of ours, but our site is pretty small compared to what drains onto us.
We actually already approved, very, I think, like the drainage plans stayed the same. Like Bob said, changed the layout of the housing and, or I don't think it was duplex.
No, it wasn't, and it was a circular drive around the edges and going to route through a swale and piping, like almost keep the original path of that overland swale type of, but,
But I mean, as far as I know, your agreement and everything with the YMCA is still good, and, 'cause I think that, you had that last time when we approved the drainage.
they had it verbally, it's not in writing yet, so, type of, yeah, the easements across for both, for not both, for all sanitary water and storm. We're not connecting storm to the YMCA, but our flow does go to their channel right there on the edge of the, so it'll flow through the YMCA property. So working with engineering department to make sure all the easements and agreements that are legally required will be obtained for sanitary, storm, and water.
But on our, we already approved essentially this is the same job.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Fieldstone secondary plat, County Road 36A west of Indiana Avenue, involving 4 of the county regulated drains. Favorable recommendation from the surveyor's office.
Quick question. Should the motion have that they need to have the finished engineering? I mean, from what I'm hearing, they still don't have the offsite.
They just don't have the easements for their utility hookups, which would be separate, I guess, from the drainage plan.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, it's all
it's
with
not,
the city of Auburn.
okay, but it's not involving the drainage issue.
Yeah.
Okay. I would so move we accept the Fieldstone secondary plat approval as presented with the surveyor's recommendation.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second to approve the Fieldstone secondary plat as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you very much for your time. Yep. Next, we have a utility permit for NIPSCO Gas, UPA, over in Butler, Indiana, involving one of our county drains. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Lene Woods. I'm here from Stantec on behalf of NIPSCO. And this project is a regulated drain crossing via directional bore on either side of North Main Street at the intersection of County Road 63. Basically, just straightforward, either side of the road, 4-inch plastic natural piping, or natural gas pipeline, and minimum of 4 feet underneath the drainage tile.
Surveyor. Good.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the utility permit for NIPSCO Gas UPA at 106 Baldwin Street in Butler, Indiana, on the condition that the surveyor's office is notified when work is to begin. and with a favorable recommendation from the Surveyor's Office.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the utility permit as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Moving on, we have a development plan for a fortified field house at 3375 County Road 427 in Waterloo, Indiana. 3 regulated drains involved in that one. Good morning.
Good morning, Justin Hoffman with Burst Construction, civil engineer for the project, 6525 Ardmore Avenue in Fort Wayne, 46809. So what we have here is a bunch of site improvements. There's some new ownership for the project here, formerly the CCC, across from DeKalb High School. And they really want to dress it up and make it, they have big plans. And so the first step is an improvement to the parking lot. It's all stone now, they want to pave it. The layout there is shown. There'll be some improvements to the pond. We need to basically shore up the sidewalls to give us a little bit more volume for the extra drainage that's coming, going from stone to asphalt. The future addition on the west side of the building there, impedes a little bit of the existing pond that's on that side, so there'll be some modifications to that. But we're changing a little bit of the drainage of the existing parking lot and taking about 85% of it over to the east pond, whereas now more like a third or 40% of it goes to the west. So we're going to lessen the amount of water that's going to the west pond to account for its reduction in size, and then we're increasing the size of the east pond. The outfalls for both will remain the same, unchanged, and we'll have new piping from the parking lot to take care of the drainage to get it to the east pond, and then we're also adding a downspout system on the north side of the buildings and directing all that water to the east pond as well.
So they're just gonna do the parking lot. They're just trying to account for the future.
That's still kind of up in the air. The exact phasing and how they're going to build it out. All they know is they want the parking lot in first, and then they're going to do the building second. The timeline of that could be anywhere from 6 months after the parking lot to a year after the parking lot. The last few discussions have been leaning much more towards immediately after the parking lot. The building pad, I don't know if we're going to quite have enough excavation in the existing pond and the material. We're really just scraping off a little bit. We're not really excavating deeper into the existing pond to generate dirt. So it's unclear at this point whether we're actually building the pad for the future addition or if that's just going to be taken care of later. Our suggestion from the construction side of things is to do it in this phase so that you don't have to worry about it later, but that's a little bit still up in the air.
Site does not.
Well, I haven't commented on with that pond, if you want to call it a pond, it's actually a wetland. The outlet on that, on the east side, is not in good shape. Yeah, well, I think it's bigger than that on the east side. I just know that since my son and I farm the school farm there, it's, especially on the Rudolph side, there's broken down tile and the outlet is not in the best shape. So if you're going to add volume to that, you're only going to make it worse.
35. Private.
Over here.
Where that goes through that?
Which pond? They both kind of outlet to the, what I'll call the very wet lands north of the property, the northeast part of the property. Where, yeah, we found a juncture there. When our guys were out there, they were shin high in water at the time they were doing the survey work. It's been a very wet spring, obviously, so there's going to be a lot of water there.
It stays wet pretty much all year. There's a standpipe on the east side of that wetland, like I said, on the Rudolph property. It goes east into that, over to 35 to the road. But again, it's private. But I guess my point is that tile is not in very good shape. Yes, but you are going to have.
Discharge going to increase those ponds?
The outlets stay in the same size. They're not like increasing pipe. They're just capacity of the pond. Discharge.
Yeah, the intent is not to increase any discharge rate. Just keep the extra, the faster volume, the quicker increase in volume in the pond by making it bigger.
They're very good with the,
The drainage plan is good as far as capacity of the pond and storage of extra water from on site.
I mean, if we're not changing the discharge, what there is now, I don't know. Surveyor approve of the development plan? Good. Anybody want to make a motion to approve the development plan for a fortified field house out at 3375 County Road 427 with a favorable recommendation from the surveyor's office involving 3 of the county regulated drains? Oh, I'm sorry, 2. Nope. Yes, 2.
So move with the surveyor's recommendation.
No second? Motion dies, lack of a second. Any,
Do we want to explore getting maybe an agreement with neighboring landowners that the drain's going to discharge on? Would that make the board feel more comfortable if we?
No, or else make it deeper, if that's possible, so it holds more. As I mean, if,
Well, I think they are.
well, yeah, but he just said skim the surface.
Well, that's, my intent in saying that was that it's not going to drastically change the look or the shape of the pond, but it is going to increase the volume to account for the conversion of stone to hard surface.
I don't think there's storage on site is the issue here. I think it feels like you're more concerned about the discharge location and the current state of that, and maybe what will happen with that in the future, right?
If you get the homeowners to sign off, or the landowners to sign off, then I would accept that. But I just foresee, having been around that several years, that we're going to have landowners in here saying, hey, my ground is now flooding, because even though the outlet is the same, we've pushed a lot more water a lot quicker into that pond, if you want to call it that. It's a wetland. We don't have, it doesn't have a good outlet. It just doesn't. But that would have to be something that needs to be worked out. But
Would the board like to see an agreement with just the Duns, which is that neighboring parcel that's in an L shape? Would you want to see it extend to the Rudolphs?
I would suggest Dunn's and Rudolph's both. Yes, that would be my
As long as the discharge isn't being changed, I'm comfortable with it, but not saying it doesn't need to be addressed no matter what, but as far as this is, discharge, 100% sure the discharge isn't.
Yeah, the discharge from the site, I mean, I understand the water's going to the north part of the property, and from there, it's staying there, and it's likely wetlands north of the actual pond, but the pond itself is being increased enough to handle that the flow out is going to be the same as what it is today. So we're not making any increase in the bad situation. We're not making it any worse by this. That's what the expansion of the pond is to handle and make sure that it doesn't make the situation any worse than it already is.
There's a regulated drain to the east, right, on the other side of the FFA plot.
Yeah,
Did they run across to that?
right on 35.
Across Rudolph's parcel.
Yeah, the school farm is to the south of the, yeah. That's the school farm.
How far is that across there? What's that tile like? Regulated drain. Is it any better?
I think that one's not.
Yeah, I don't think the county tiles, I mean, they redid,
I was thinking they did part of that.
yeah,
Put something on
a
that.
few years ago, they redid that tile.
I don't know if they redid it, but they worked on it for sure.
Yeah, well, at one time, on the west side of the road, it used to flood quite a bit, and they fixed it, and I don't see any flooding there anymore. So I think the outlet, as far as the county is concerned, is in good shape, or fairly good shape. I just know how much Mr. Rudolph has been upset with how that drain isn't working, but that's his property. So just trying to avoid future issues, because it's going to be, it will be an issue, I think, but the surveyor feels comfortable, then so be it.
Going off. I mean, essentially what they're doing is making the pond, so like if they didn't make the pond bigger and they would put more water to it, it would just overflow in the pond, you know, but the 6 inches staying the same size, same grade, so like it can only take the CFS's. They're just raising the pond to be able to water to. .59 number.
So when they,
If, I mean, if, it's not gonna make this situation worse, but if it's,
no idea.
I mean, likely not. I mean, I can't say for certain, but I think Fortify would be willing to participate in an effort to contact the owners to make improvements to the private tile, or perhaps even petition for it to become a regulated drain or a new tile over there to help alleviate that stuff. But if that's a condition of approval, that efforts are made in that regard, I think they would be okay with that. They certainly would appreciate whatever help the drainage board can give on allowing their current project to move forward while taking steps to help improve the overall situation.
I guess the second part of that is if they're going to make an addition, that's only going to make it worse.
Well, the current drainage plan takes into account the addition.
Oh, it does?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's why we're showing it now, to show that it's accommodating the future building addition, and that drainage plan accounts for what's shown on the plans for the future, so that we don't have to come back and have the same discussion again.
Okay. My misunderstanding.
No problem.
I thought you said earlier that you were hoping that they'd do both at the same time, but.
That is my hope from a construction standpoint, but their dollars are not my dollars, so.
I understand.
But we want to set up the design, we want to get the approvals for that addition, and the plans are set up to account for that addition now.
Okay.
So that when it comes time, whenever they do get the funds sufficient to do that addition, that it's been approved by this body and the other planning agencies as well.
So I will, can we amend the motion? Pardon me?
Make a new one.
I guess you want to rescind the motion?
Yeah, I think I'll rescind the motion. I'd like to rescind the motion, though, with talks with the neighbors and a possible help, if need be, with that existing old tile.
I can convey that to Fortify for sure, that, there's a strong concern about the existing conditions.
Okay.
And their cooperation in helping alleviate that in the future is part of the approval.
So moved on that one.
I will second that motion then.
So I have a motion and a second for the fortified field house development plans out at 3375 County Road 427, with the stipulation of fortified field house working with the adjoining landowners on drainage on their parcels. Going forward. And the plan has the surveyor's recommendation. Is there any further discussion? If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Next, we have Troyer Confined Feeding Operation out at 4023 County Road 53 in Butler, Indiana. Anybody here on their behalf? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Brian Munch with Munch Engineering. Offices at 4000 Clarks Creek Road, Plainfield, Indiana, 46168. Today I'm representing Mark Troyer regarding some improvement that he's making to his farm over on County Road 53. As you see in front of you, this is a confined feeding operation for chickens to be processed. Approximately 80,000 chickens will be staged in 2 buildings that are over 600 feet by 60 feet in width, with 80 feet of pasture between the 2 buildings. The natural flow of the property is from west to east into the Metcalf ditch. If you look at the aerial, you can kind of see the bridge. There's a ridge line that kind of comes from the north, goes around the north edge of the building, then transverses to the east. There's a grade change onto the east side of that ridge. These buildings will be to the west of that, elevated on the upper plateau, if you will. Proposed drainage is new overland flow ditches to the north side of the building and then to the south side of the south building. That would be then collected at the southeast corner of the 2 facilities. Then we actually would pipe underneath. There's a gravel drive that follows that ridge line. We would pipe underneath, again, letting the drainage go to the Metcalf ditch. There's actually a reduction in the runoff from a calculative standpoint of, right now the runoff is uncontrolled. Now we are using a guided ditch or overland flow to collect the water from the new improvements, direct them to the southeast corner. Then we almost are using the ditches and that low area as a small detention basin before then discharges out into the ditch itself. We're disturbing approximately 18 acres of this parcel with these new improvements.
Surveyor?
I think a pretty good, engineered in here. It has all the water diverted and slowed down before it enters the ditch. Erosion control measures are good.
Anybody want to make a motion to approve the drainage plan for Troyer Confined Feeding Operation at 4023 County Road 53, Butler, Indiana, involving one of our regulated drains, with a favorable recommendation from the Surveyor's Office?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the drainage plan as presented. Is there any further discussion?
I have a quick question. It says confined feeding operation. He's, under testimony, he said it was a processing plant.
I'm sorry, let me make sure I'm clarified. It's a confined feeding operation that's housing 80,000 chickens. Those 80,000 chickens will be taken from this property to a processing location.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, this is just a barn to put the chickens in.
Yep. Thank you for that clarification.
Very good. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you for your time. Next we have Leroy Graber, confined feeding operation revised out at 7735 County Road 28. By here on their behalf. Going here for Leroy Graber.
Let me talk about
Okay.
this project. We already approved this once. It had the west drainage swale coming underneath their gravel drive and joining on the southeast corner and then outletting into the ditch. Leroy was concerned about that swale coming underneath his gravel drive. So they re-engineered it so that southwest corner is coming down. It has its own discharge point there to the regulated drain. And the southeast corner has stayed the same over there. So just kind of separated those two as to 2 separate drainage swales that are discharging towards our open ditch. So just a small change to help accommodate with their drive, and then that way they could get a culvert installed on that southwest discharge point. They had a culvert that comes underneath their gravel drive, so it would better work there. So that's the only change that they had to it. But since they made a change to that drainage plan, we wanted to bring it back for reapproval. So it doesn't bother me too much that they're not here.
Surveyor's Office is good with it. Anybody want to make a motion to approve the revised drainage plan for Leroy Graber confined feeding operation at 7735 County Road 28 with favorable recommendation from Surveyor's Office?
So move to accept as presented, the surveyor recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the revised drainage plan as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have IPI Waterloo Asphalt Parking Lot Improvements, 295 South Commerce Drive in Waterloo, Indiana. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Shelby Gerhart. I'm with TE Incorporated. We're at 8620 Bluffton Road in Fort Wayne. This is the Blue Scope metal recycling site. They're looking to open up their retail scrap drop-off again. They have a current existing stone area that's kind of the light yellow that you see there. They're looking to pave that and then add an additional 50,000 roughly square feet of pavement and an extra drive. So there's an existing drive, which is the gray to the south. That's going to be what they keep the retail vehicles coming in on. And then the new yellow drive is what they're going to keep their employee box roll-off trucks coming in on. The green is just kind of their movable storage bins. They'll pull in and they'll unload on whatever bin they need to go to or whatever. But those will be movable, just like the mafia block type style that they have currently on the site. And then they have a fence that's going to go around the whole outside just to kind of keep it contained. And this will drain to, they have an existing swale. There's a concrete line swale that goes up to the north and then west. And on the west side of the site, they have 3 existing detention basins. It'll go to the first one, then to the second one, then the third, and then the third one will release to the David Link lateral tile, kind of southeast of there.
They have on-site detention already, signed for the site. They have a total detained area of 58.33 acres. The existing discharge, 68.91. The proposed discharge to the David Wink is 1.5 CFS. And the total detention provided for on-site detained watershed is 17.03. So, I mean,
Yeah, and we spoke with the engineers who did the original design, and they said the ponds are way oversized to begin with.
yeah, because they sized them too for like proposed.
And I think that area, that northeast area that's grassed, they had the whole thing proposed to be like a building and parking lot.
No discharge change on. Surveyor's good with the drainage plan. I'd like to make a motion to approve the drainage plan for IPI Waterloo Asphalt Parking Lot Improvement at 295 South Commerce Drive, Waterloo, Indiana, involving 2 of the DeKalb County regulated drains. A favorable recommendation from the surveyor's office.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the drainage plan as presented. Is there any further discussion? There no further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Moving on, we have Natmist Cold Storage Development Plan at 1630 Wayne Street in Auburn, Indiana. Good morning.
Morning, I'm Brad Basinger, and I am here on behalf of P.A. Troyer Incorporated. We are the architecture firm associated with this project, and my address is 308 East William Street in Kendallville, Indiana. So this is a cold storage building for the Natmist Museum. It is not open to the public. This is really for storing vehicles when they buy them, sell them, take them off exhibit. And they're also storing the Freightliner traveling exhibit in this building as well. And we're proposing a 9,120 square foot building. It is, like I said, cold storage, unheated, no plumbing, anything like that. You take a look at the site. On the southeast corner, we are proposing our pond. We are taking all of our downspouts and going underground with those, tying them into the storm system. The parking lot is collected in inlet structures, and that is all piped to the pond as well. And you see the south side of the building has a swale along the property line to divert our water towards the pond rather than onto the neighbor. And once you get into the pond, our under drains go to the outfall structure, and those are in a sand filter system to really let sediment fall out of the water before it gets to the outfall structure. But then once in the outfall structure, we have a sump there as well to allow any remaining sediment to fall out before we pipe to the creek for the outfall. And at the control structure, we do have a 3-inch orifice to control the rate of the outfall. So we're really throttling it there before we get to the creek.
Everything's going to that dry pond, that under drains to a sump. Falls to keep it.
All this is new.
Yeah, it is NatMes does own a portion of this currently, and then I believe it's 3 residential lots that would also become a part of the project as well.
Good. Anybody want to make a motion to approve the drainage plan for NatMes Cold Storage Development, 1630 Wayne Street, Auburn, Indiana, involving one regulated drain with a favorable recommendation from the surveyor's office?
Motion to approve.
A second.
A motion and a second to approve the drainage plan as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you very much for your time. Next, we have a variance for Brendan and Emily Kidder for a culvert. I don't have any streets here, but oh, good morning.
Brendan Kidder, 2471, County Road 60, Auburn. We were able to buy the property to the north, so we just want to put in a little bridge to get over to it.
Just to install a culvert crossing there. So we went out on site, recommended a 6-foot culvert. The ditch is kind of wide there, but not really deep. Down to the west there, where Trinity's looking to install that culvert, there is more of a bank there to help with that. So that's why he picked that location. Should be pretty simple culvert installation. And work well for getting him to his new property.
Surveyor's good with it.
6 inch?
6 foot.
Oh,
6 inch would be a little small. Yeah, that'd be.
Well, then that's cheaper.
It would be a decent bit cheaper, yeah.
Put in 26 inches.
My apology.
Anybody like to make a motion to approve the variance for the culvert for Trina and Emily Kidder out at 2471 County Road 60, Auburn, Indiana?
So move to accept as presented with the surveyor's recommendation.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time. Next, we have a septic variance for Cody and Kelsey Boyer out of County Road 24. Here on their behalf. Good morning.
Justin Purdy. I am with Lancia Homes, representing the Boyers as their general contractor and builder. We are asking for a variance to cross the William Leans lateral 2 regulated drain for their septic system.
Do you have the plat, Troy?
I have different.
So what they're planning to do here is they're gonna build the residence on one side of our drain, on the east side of the drain, and,
Thank you.
the septic field is going to be, there we are. And the septic field is gonna be on the west side of our drain, let's see. Also, don't believe that, the drain as shown on the map here is in the correct location. That one has not been opened up, or worked on to know the exact location, but I believe it follows the, right now it shows it going through a hill, so I think it's actually to the north in that low spot. Yep, right there, and it runs down into that existing pond. Will you turn off that wetland, Troy? Almost made it. Yeah.
So the
There we go, now we can see.
drain's correct on the plot plan.
Yeah, that's where we believe the drain is, actually, on the plat that we have here. So they're gonna have to cross our drain, with their line running to their septic field. So, that's why we, had them apply for a variance for crossing our drain, with that line. Just ask that when installation's happening, let us know. That way, when we do find the drain, we can get it properly, marked on the maps, and then we actually will know where it's at, so. And the variance just basically just says that if it's damaged while you're installing that line, then you're responsible for repairing it. So, just make sure you give us a call, so that way we can come out there and get it all changed. So that way we all know where it's at.
Surveyor's office good with it. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the septic variance for Cody and Kelsey Boyer out of County Road 24 involving 4 county regulated drains with a favorable recommendation from Surveyor's office with the stipulation of notifying the Surveyor's office when the line is being installed.
Is the sewer system gonna be, so it's actual sewer, it's not the perimeter drain,
No, it's just the
it's,
sewer.
it's just the
septic line.
actual sewer pipe that's going, huh?
It'll be the pressure line.
The gray water.
Well, no, it'll be right from the tank. It'll be like, cause like mountain systems will have 2 tank, like the septic tank and the flood dose tank. The flood dose tank. It'll be like a 2-inch force main, right?
The mound. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve the septic variance as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next, we'll have guest communications. Anybody in the audience like to address the board? Move on to surveyor's report.
Anything you want me to go? All right. I prepared a handful of documents. Not just I. We prepared a handful of documents for you all to look at. The first one is some information on the Ora Bowler. We've been working on getting all that prepared. I think we have it pretty well squared away and working with Foresight for the permitting stuff. We have a good agreement with them and establish an engineer's estimate for the anticipated cost for the project. So that's looking at $776,367. Utilizing that design we've already presented and discussed. We feel pretty confident in that and like that design. And remember, it would include combining the JW Jackman drain, which is on the south side of the co-op there, combining that and making it an extension of lateral 3 from the Ora Bowler. For whatever reason, they're separated as 2 different drains right there. but the Jackman relies on lateral 3. So we would make it just part of the lateral 3. And then also the lateral on the north side of the tracks there would be getting moved a little bit so that we avoid the residential lot there and those structures to go on the back side of the parcel line, traveling out to that low area. We also would propose changing the maintenance rate to a $10 base rate, which would be $20 residential and $30 commercial to help increase that fund. Right now, the Ora Bowler brings in around $4,500 a year for maintenance. So changing that would increase it to, I have it somewhere, $7,548 a year. So a little bit of an increase there to help give us some more funds. That rate would not be, the maintenance would not be collected in the first 5 years following reconstruction. So make sure we're not overburdening the landowners. The portion of expense for crossing the railroad and US 6, Foresight had an engineer estimate of $400,000 for that crossing, the jack and bore under the tracks under US 6. That would be billed to each of those accordingly for their right-of-way responsibility. So that would not get billed to the watershed. So that comes out to an estimated cost of $1,296 per acre for that reconstruction. I think that's all the information, all the important stuff. You remember from when we discussed this, we'd be redoing the whole Ora Bowler main, then lateral 3 and lateral 4. Those would be the portions that get reconstructed. There's a couple small laterals that kick off of that would just be tied in when we redo that. Dan, you want me to? We'll talk about it. So that's for the Ora Bowler. So I believe we have everything prepared and ready to set a hearing date when we want to do that. If we want to wait for Shannon to look over everything and Kellen to also be here to make sure we have a date that's going to work for everybody, we can do that and set it at the next meeting. You know, this project's not going to take place until after crops are harvested in the fall anyway. So I think, you know, waiting to set the date in June, and we'd set it for sometime probably July to August to have the hearing, get the bids sent out, bids accepted September time. We'd be looking okay time-wise, I think, to start the project come November. If we want to do that, and unless you guys want to set it now, that's all up to you guys.
Seems reasonable to me.
Just wait and have them look over it, or set it now?
No, well, number one, wait till Kellen's back.
Sure, yeah. And I'll make sure we send this all to Shannon too, so she can look over the surveyor's report, make sure she's in agreement with everything.
I really think we could go ahead and set it. Let's get it moving.
That's for you guys.
You know, we got the information. We're not making a decision here, we're just setting a date for the hearing.
In my mind, 2 weeks isn't going to matter one way or another. Oops, sorry.
We don't have a meeting on the 21st for this month. Our next meeting is the 4th of June.
Oh.
We avoided the 21st for some reason. Somebody was going to be gone, and I think you were all going to be pretty busy around that time, out playing in the dirt. So we had canceled that meeting already. How you do?
Very nice.
I'm not gonna argue with it.
No.
So if we want to, you guys decide you want to set it today, we can, or we can wait and set it on June 4th.
What was the available dates?
4th, 18th?
No, 4th would be Tuesday.
Yeah, we have to wait to send out notices, so we'd be looking sometime in July probably, would give us enough time to get the notices sent out.
That'd be the 2nd or the 16th.
You'll probably avoid the 2nd because of 4th of July. 16th would make sense, I think, if you like it.
Works for me.
Doing rain dances at that point, so.
Shame on you.
All right, we want to look at the 16th then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
So you can all look through that information. The assessment scroll is also in there for you all to look at. If you want to look at any certain landowners, I know that Jim Ely was one of those that some people were concerned with looking at, so you can look at all of that information. The next piece of information I have for you.
Do we need a motion for that or no?
Oh, I don't know. Do we need to make a motion to set a date?
The hearing?
I actually just, I will not be available on the 16th.
The 16th?
Let's find a date that Steve can be here then, probably, huh? Since it's such a big project, I'd say it's probably worth shifting it around to find a good one. We can always go a different Thursday that a meeting's not already scheduled as well if we need to.
Can we do a special day for that hearing, just the hearing itself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there will be a lot of people here, I'm sure, and it will take some time, so we can.
Not necessarily on a scheduled day, but a
Yeah.
Thursday in between.
Yeah. Yeah, if we want to look at something like that.
That'd be fine. For me, it'd be fine.
We want to look at.
9th or 23rd? 23rd?
I will not be here the 23rd, but
How about the 9th?
I will be here the 9th.
Works for me.
I think I'm good.
9th should work for me as well.
9th's looking good?
Does that work for you, Tyler?
Works for me, Jim.
I don't know if I'll be here.
No?
Can't plan that far ahead. Come on.
Okay, you're right. July 9th? We need a motion?
We can make one, don't hurt.
I'll make a motion.
I got
Schedule for the 9th of July, your Ebola hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for hearing for the Orobola reconstruction. I don't know if I said it or not, July 9th. Is there any further discussion? Hear no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Great. Next item I have two items on, not on maintenance drains. First one we'll look at is a proposed vacation of the RH Seward drain. So the RH Seward is on the west side of Garrett. It ties into the Garrett City tile, right there, right before it decides to go under all of the roads and houses. So it's been not on maintenance. In your sheet you have there, it has some really good history. It's, I think, only been discussed 4 times previously, and I think 3 of those times were surveyors talking about vacating it. It just never happened. So it goes under electric motors, it runs through the pond, it goes under some residential homes. I don't think we've ever done anything to it. So it's not, it basically is not serving the purpose it was intended for, and that is the reason for vacation. It's not capable of being maintained if we were to place it on maintenance. So I think the best course would be to vacate it. So, we'll set a date for that, when we're gonna have that hearing. If you want, we can wait to set that date at the next one. If you want to look through this information, I can send it to Shannon to make sure she's in agreement that everything looks good since it's going to be vacation, and then we can set that date. I don't think it's really super urgent to set, but just trying to get some of these non-maintenance drains taken care of. The next non-maintenance drain we had.
Time out.
Yep.
So if that's vacated, who does that belong to then? The
Nobody.
city? Nobody?
Nobody. It's vacated.
Okay, so when something happens, it's not the city of Garrett? It's-
It'd be individual landowners for each individual segment.
Really? Okay.
It'll be, I mean, it's just gonna be in the ground. Nobody will even know it's there, probably.
Well, it's still working, isn't it, or not?
I would not anticipate that it's working, but I don't think so. But I don't know, we never worked on it, we never had it open because you can't hardly get to any of it because it's all under buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the water going, I assume, to Garrett Storm Sewer?
It ties into the Garrett City tile, which also we can't verify running through the whole city of Garrett.
Can we zoom in, like right where your cursor's at real quick? Maybe south just a hair? Okay.
There's houses all through here,
Yep, that's all parking lot.
and then you got
Electric
the
motors.
building, you know, the factory on top of it. I mean, it's
You
just,
have a lateral that goes through a pond.
and then it comes down to Garrett City right here.
Can Malargics farm that, Stevie?
That field right there?
Yeah.
We farm it.
You farm it?
Yeah.
That's the only thing you'd have to maybe be concerned.
There's a manhole cover out in there, but I've never looked in it either.
What are you doing? Lateral?
Out in the field?
Yeah, but it's on that lateral
4H sewer.
B or
Oh,
3,
okay,
whichever
yeah.
one, kind of
Yeah.
going to the left. But
So that, like that lateral that runs to that wetland would just.
it dries the field. It sits underwater for a few days, but it
That lateral
ends up
3.
getting rid of it.
Huh.
Or do you get rid of
Right
this
down
and
in where-
keep this?
Right where it makes.
I think you just make it private. So that's what we're proposing for that. We can look at it again next meeting and set a date on it. I just want to make sure you're aware of it. Good on that one?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, our next one we have is the James B. Ridge. That is going to be over near Walker Farms. I think Walker owns a large portion of it.
Yeah, I set a bookmark for that one.
Yeah, I think you did. There we are. So it is not on maintenance. If you want to zoom in there,
Yeah.
right to the right. Not on maintenance, our proposal would be to combine that with the Reuben Sauvel drain. The Reuben Sauvel is right there. That's the main, and then runs south, and then it's an open ditch from there. So James Ridge would become a lateral to the Reuben Sauvel. So that would become lateral 2. The other lateral there, that's called the Reuben Sauvel Ridge lateral with some sort of crazy number. We would change that to the Reuben Sauvel lateral 1. So make it easier to have them organize account numbers, make a lot more sense there. As part of combining that with that parent drain, I know we discussed increasing the maintenance rate for that leg then. So that's what we proposed here. Currently, the Reuben Sauvel has a $4 per acre maintenance rate. So we propose increasing that newly combined watershed to a $10 per acre maintenance rate. So that would pull in around like $750. So it's not a very big watershed there. Like I said, a majority of it is Walker Farms. So that would be its own separate zone, bringing in $10 per acre. So, then it would all be handled out of the Reuben Sauvel. So that is our proposal there. Again, you can look through that information and I'll send that on to Shannon so she can look at it and make sure we have her blessing that everything.
Is it, I would check with her, can we call that a lateral? Is it actually, it is actually a lateral?
But if we combine it, so we'll do a combination to combine it with the Reuben Sauvel and we can, then we can name it a lateral. Yep. That's how she said that we should handle like a lot of these non-maintenance. We make it a part of the parent drain, do a combination and rename it to the lateral. So it makes it a lot less confusing. Yep. Okay, and other than that, I have one last thing. Kevin's not here, but Kevin Yoder has proposed over towards Newville here, pattern tiling that field. Yep, that field and the one to the west there too. All of that, yes. So what he's requesting here is permission to cross the watershed line to outlet into the open ditch to the west there. So get agreements with the landowner there. The landowner just said, if you're gonna do that, I wanna make sure that the drainage board approves that you're gonna cross the watershed line. So the idea here, and why I think it's, would be the most beneficial is, we'd be outletting into a, a well-maintained, open ditch to the west, as opposed to if he were to pattern tile that field to the east and run it to the, John Gillingham drain. That is not in very good shape at all. So, he had some concern about pattern tiling to that because he doesn't want to create issues for all the rest of the landowners downstream. So, he's came in and met with me a couple times about it, asking if we could present that and get the support of the drainage board saying that it's okay, and we would write a letter from the surveyor for the neighboring landowner saying that we're in agreement that that would be the best case, is to carry that water to the Solomon Shank. Both of them go to the St. Joe River right down off the screen to the southeast. So they're both carrying that water, yep, right there, there we go, to the same location, just that Solomon Shank's gonna be much more fit for carrying that water.
Does that mean we would actually change?
Yeah, we could. See that residence that's right down to the south of the cursor right there? Yeah, so you can kind of see the bowl shape that goes right up above it. That portion, yep, right there. That portion would still go to the tile as it is. All the rest of that portion would go to the west. So once he installs that pattern tile, they have the fall and everything. Kellogg's already did the engineering on it. They have the fall to make it to the Solomon Shank, and then we could adjust that watershed line.
I'm fine with that. I wouldn't mind Shannon's opinion. I can't think of a time, crossing watershed. Did you guys, what we've done on that, or I just want to be consistent on what we've done and legal?
Well, in the past, I don't remember allowing it.
That's why I'd like to hear what Shannon.
Yeah.
When we do drain reconstructions, it reshapes watersheds. So it's not like moving watersheds isn't necessarily a new thing. It's just when you direct the water. So this would be something of a similar nature. When he pattern tiles that field and he runs his main to the Solomon Shank, just reshaping where all of that water is.
The Fred Gross Cup Jr. and Ketchum, we split, that was one watershed before, and it split and became two as we routed the county pond to the west.
We did do it.
So we did do it there. And like the Ora Bowler, as an example, goes through, it's actually 4 watersheds. It's just different rate zones for each of the subsheds. So.
But yeah, we can.
Just the board's approval or a hearing, or?
I don't know, if we want to talk to Shannon about it, we can. Just want to make sure you're aware, get your thoughts on it. It sounds like, I think it would be the most logical thing to do, most responsible. But we can, it's nothing urgent. It's not like he's trying to get that tile put in next week or anything, so.
Oh, he's not?
No, he said he can, we've been working on it for a while, trying to come up with a good plan for him and everything, so, we can wait and talk to Shannon about it. And then maybe get like a formal motion, as long as she's in support of it, at our next meeting. That sounds good?
Sounds good.
Okay, that's all I have.
Jim?
Nope, good.
Good. Becky, or Katie, Becky?
I'm good.
Good? Well, if there are no objections, this meeting will stand adjourned.
Well, you already asked about public, okay, I missed.
Missed their chance.
There are no objections, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. That was quite a bit for one day.
Variances, yeah, Katie will get you taken over to get signed.
Oops, sorry.